What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and I just want to address where they're going to build some of these new products that are coming. I got some internal information, and now some of it is fluid, okay? So it could change. So this isn't a thing where I'm telling you, book it. Like, if I would bet on it, I'd probably still bet on it, because usually my information is top tier, solid. But this is one of those things where it's like, okay, like 70% of the stuff's probably going to be where I say, and 30% is going to go elsewhere. But hearing people say that have already got shit wrong, and the rest of the regular media are already pissed at them for getting it wrong last time and making them all look stupid, is now saying where shit's going to get built. Please miss me with that shit. Roll the intro. Guys, before we get into today's video, I got to talk about the giveaway on the channel right now. As we're over 90%, I think it's like 94, 95%, somewhere around there. I know there's not many left of the extra entries on the SRT10 Viper that we picked up. Man, we stole that thing, man. Literally picked that thing up through an online auction for, after fees and everything, right at about 48 grand. With an offer, just made him an offer and snatched it. So if you want to get in on that with a shot to win it, low mileage, great condition. We also have the SRT10 Viper truck up as well. You can get in on either one of them at the link in the description down below, tk'sgarage.bigcartel.com. All right, so a while back, and I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm not mentioning anybody directly. All right. Now, if the shoe fits and you're in your fucking feelings, tie them laces up and deal with that shit. All right. I've run into this dude multiple times too at events, and he don't say nothing, which is probably smart, by the way. But anyways, so we heard the information that came out last winter, I guess. They're going to be building Hemis at Dundee by the summer. What was it? Maybe it was over a year ago, right? They're going to be building Hemis at Dundee. And then you had Car and Driver, and everybody else ran with this shit. And then I remember seeing people, I wonder what event it was. Was it Tennessee? Or was it, no, I think it was Vermont. I ended up seeing somebody at Vermont where they were like, you know, for the Charger thing. And they were literally like, can't believe this dude, he made us all look stupid. Made us all look dumb. Now look, this can happen in journalism. You can get what you think is really solid information and just get it wrong. But did this other website like correct the record and say, oh, we got it wrong, my bad, we kind of made everybody look stupid, my bad? No, they didn't. In fact, they still have it up on their website, which I think is fucking hilarious. That said, I know you guys are going to be tagging and saying shit in the comments too. Have at it. But that said, this same website, who doesn't have the track record that we have, has come out now and said that the Rumblebees are all only going to be built in Mexico. Bullshit. You know, I really try not to be petty.
Oh, fuck you lying. Why you always lying?
But it's just like this thing. It's like right here, and I'm trying to be a nice person, and then it just the petty just rises until it just is like, let it out. I'm kidding, but I have to be honest. If we're going off of track records, I wouldn't believe that shit for nothing. Now, are they going to build engines for the Rumblebee in Mexico? Yes. It's going to take 18 months to 2 years for them to tool up to build engines here in the United States. And as long as the USMCA is there and they renew it, they can still build the engines and save a little bit of money on building the engines in Mexico, okay? It's just a fact. But are they going to build the truck there? No. Come on, man. God, people are fucking retarded. Now, I know I'm going to tell you where they're getting that information from. They're getting that information, and it's the same thing. When they started testing the V8 and Hemis and stuff and the Charger, did they do it up here in Michigan, or, you know, in the United States, in Michigan and in the Detroit area? No, of course not. They sent one down to Arizona, and the other one was down in Mexico. They sent just whole ass frames and bodies and shit down to Mexico to test it down there, because, believe it or not, nobody gives a fuck about Mopar like that in you know, around Saltillo. They don't care. People could drive that car around, and they're not going to have people looking for spy photos like they would in Detroit. Okay. So when and shit, that was what, over a year ago that I talked about them doing that down in Mexico. Just saying. So they built the black truck that I showed you guys, the Rumblebee, the 5.7 version, the mule, if you want to call it that, was built at Saltillo, and they brought it up to Michigan for testing and drove it all around. Nobody was the wiser. Nobody paid attention. And it was funny. I was literally having conversations, not just with Tim, but like other people that built the truck, like designers and engineers and shit. Well, they were like, yeah, this thing, it's funny, like nobody even paid attention to this shit until it got parked next to a RHO and it was shorter. And then somebody noticed. And it was literally at the Sterling Heights assembly plant for like a month and a half. And even Nick was laughing, you know, the head of PR was like, yo, we were driving that shit around. Nobody was paying attention. Because, yeah, it just looks like a Ram truck. Like, you know, yeah, it looks like a TRX. I would have noticed it if I would have saw it on the road that it was different. But the average everyday person isn't gonna, it doesn't have camouflage and shit on it. Nobody's gonna pay attention to that. So that's why when we got those photos of the bumper truck of the 5.7 and we dropped it, it caused a lot of shit. People got fired over that. And that's why I said also, if you're sending me leaks, if you're sending me information, please be careful. Do not get into a 3-point stance like you're holding a Glock and about to hit a target to take a photo. Like, if you're gonna take a picture, like, do that shit on the sly. Get some Ray-Ban Metas. get some Ray-Ban Metas or some other shit if you want to send me spy photos. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that. More on that later. But yeah, it's funny. Like, I talked to one of the people from the security team at Stellantis at a bar while I was up there, and he was literally like, so you pay people like 40 grand? I was like, 40,000 for photos of a fucking vehicle? I can just fly a drone over the lot. I can get that shit whenever I want. If dumbass is gonna park the shit outside, duh. But they don't care. So this is what you need to understand about auto manufacturers. They will park shit outside on purpose, hoping somebody sees it. It causes excitement for the brand. When we're at press or going out to go see the new Rumblebee and they drive a brand new fucking testing Hellcat by us in a van full of influencers, they did that on purpose. That shit wasn't an accident. Anyways, the truck was built in Saltillo. So that's where this guy is getting his information from, because a mule was built in Saltillo. Now all the Rumblebees are going to be built in Saltillo. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please. God damn, use some common sense. No, they're not going to be built in Saltillo. They're going to be built at Sterling Heights Assembly. They may even be built, they may even split, and it really depends on how quick the Ram Charger comes up, because if they do both sizes of the Ram Charger at the same time, like the longer wheelbase will probably get built at Sterling Heights Assembly Plant, like they have any more capacity as it is, and the shorter wheelbase is probably going to get built at Warren Assembly. Now, I know my people at Warren Assembly are like, shit, we need something. It's not going to be just that. You might even get a version of the Rumblebee there, because they're both going to have the same wheelbase or the same size. So For those that are asking, at least in terms of the Rumblebee, that's what I know so far, that it's not going to be exclusively built in Mexico right now. For what I know right now, it's not going to be built exclusively in Mexico. Could they, if they hit production capacities, have to have some of those units built in Mexico? Yes, just like they do some of the 1500s now, and some of the 2500s, you know, and the 25 and 3500. Yes, they build those in Mexico. I get it. But are they going to build all the Rumblebees in Mexico? No, man. No. Stop listening. And look, and I'm not hating on anybody doing their own website or being an insider or publishing their own like, do your thing, make your story. I don't care, lie. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care. Just, you ain't got to lie to kick it. All right? You ain't got to lie to kick it. You ain't got to just manufacture shit. If you're a site that does inside information, have actual inside information and talk about it. Anyways, or use educated guesses. That's the other thing in this business. There's a lot of shit that you can figure out and literally guess. And I've heard this too, because people will say, oh, TK, you guess everything. And fuck that. If I could do that, my ass would be sports book guessing, because my ass would be rich. I would not be out here making pennies on YouTube to cover this shit. That's why I laughed when the Stellantis security's like, oh, you pay $40,000 for info, or you're buying spies? I'm like, bro, I don't work for the Communist Party of China. Like, I'm not paying people for careers, bro. Are you fucking serious? Is that what they think? And he goes, yeah, they think you're throwing like 10, 20 grand. Now, have I paid for shit? Yes. When it comes to when I was very early, and I know that shit was making people at Stellantis nervous when I was talking about whatever this Viper-esque inspired vehicle is that's not a Viper. They were getting nervous as fuck because they were like, this shit is in the most secure area at CTC, you know, like the stuff where they were even just talking about it. How does this, and they literally, and I had a security dude, this was back at Roadkill Nights, say, we were like, how? Because they literally just got out of a meeting talking about this thing and getting stuff situated for it, and I dropped a video on it, and they were like, what the fuck? So, where you get your news from does matter. I know we're not talking like we're Fox or something, like where you get your news, America's most watched news. We're not doing that. I'm just saying that I don't just be putting out videos of shit just to be putting out videos of shit. I don't write articles on shit that I don't actually know about. In fact, I don't write any fucking articles. Shout out to my dude Butter the Insider. We do have a website. I know Butter's got like a bunch of other stuff going on. He had family issues and other stuff going on. And I know he's going to get that back rolling. And when he does, I'll share that information with you. And who knows, maybe I'll crank up a website or something and throw it up there that's Mopar related for you guys that, you know, for whatever reason, and all the regular media was pulling me to the side at the Rumblebee event too, and was like, if you had a website, or if you just worked as like a hired gun at any of these websites, they'd probably pay you a ton of money. And I was like, yeah, but it's not, I don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? God, I hate getting, they call them sticker burrs or whatever. I got shit in my foot, pissing me off. Anyways, it's not about the money for me. I enjoy this. I have fun, you know, learning and trying to get it's a challenge for me. It's a way for me to keep using my skill set that I've learned over the last 20 plus years. And it lets me continue to do what I do. So I enjoy it. But anyways, there you have it. That's where they're building the shit. It's going to be built here for the most part. And like I said, it's the same thing for the Ram Charger. It'll get split between Sterling Heights Assembly and Warren Assembly, depending on the size, depending on which version it is. There are more products coming to the plants here in the United States. They really want to make this administration happy by investing in here. And that also will make the UAW happy. And if the UAW is smart, you know, if Stellantis is putting more products here, putting in more shifts, hiring more people, maybe the UAW gives them a little bit of a better deal come contract time. And I think that's going to come up in negotiations before they assign what goes where. So Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.